We learn that disruptive innovations need technical and creative talents to meet and to merge. And that is exactly what the World Health and Design Forum tries to accomplish. To redesign present systems of healthcare well-being and to keep them sustainable in a circular economy, we need to put our citizen in the center of all these innovations.
Nou, ik kom dan toch weer heel even terug op het verhaal rondom data ownership. We veronderstellen van patiënten een mate van zelfregie waarbij ze zelf een aantal dingen kunnen gaan doen. Alleen de data over hun die stoppen we in elektronische patiëntendossiers in het ziekenhuis en bij de huisarts. En daar mogen ze niet aan. Dus dat vinden wij echt een eerste stap. Heel praktisch om dat op die manier mogelijk te maken. Waarbij je ook ziet dat dat grote veranderingen teweeg zal gaan brengen. Laten we eerlijk zijn, als je naar de bank toe zou gaan en je zegt mag ik een bankafschrift hebben. En de medewerker van de bank zegt dan van nee, daar letten wij wel even voor u op. Dan ga je daar ook niet mee akkoord.
We as a government too have to change our role. Instead of adopting an excessively controlling approach and spending money to keep things the way they are, we have to participate in supportive partnerships and alliances that are based on equivalency and trust.
I hope that's just given you a few thoughts on what we might do differently around how some of those cheap innovations might be used in our own society, about how sometimes we need to stop being so vain and believe that we have all the solutions and think that people on the ground are often the people with the solutions. We must stop being so imperialist. User engagement is essential for health innovations everywhere, but non-technical factors are just as important, and for those we really need to embed ourselves in the cultures. Reverse innovation holds great promise for Western nations struggling to find affordable care. But in this environment, we do need to think about different business models, and we need to sort of slightly get over ourselves in that respect.
Ik studeer industrieel design aan de TU en we zijn nu bezig met een heel sociaal project waarbij het eigenlijk om gaat om bedrijven en studenten in contact met elkaar te brengen. En het gaat over het gebied van gezondheid. Dus we hebben nu contact met studenten van het Suma College, Suma Zorg en Fonteszorg. Dus we willen hier nu eerst inzicht krijgen in meer die health related onderwerpen. En ook wat design daarin kan betekenen.
My message is about doing. So my message is all about what happens when the talking stops, what happens when you've been inspired or had a great idea. How do you actually put it into practice? So what are you going to do afterwards? What are you going to do after the conference? What are you going to go and do differently? And what perhaps do you need to do differently in your own life to make sure that you're maintaining a healthy lifestyle and getting the most from life?
We learn about health awareness. Yes, it's very important to be health aware. But let's not make the mistake of believing that it's enough to raise awareness, that that's all you have to do. And it's time to stop telling people what they should do, okay? It's time to help them to take action, to help them translate all that knowledge, all that awareness into behaviour.
But I don't focus completely on health, but also on well-being. So this is easy, you already said it, so I don't have to do that anymore, but I'm a professor at industrial design, and I'm running basically, so to add that, running a group called Designing Quality and Interaction. So that means from a design perspective, we also look at the way that we interact with the world and the way that we interact with each other. And what can design do in there?